So Antonio Tarver has now chimed in on who he feels like is pound for pound the number one fighter in boxing. And he's going with Terrence Crawford. And, I have no issues with that. I personally am going with Terrence Crawford too. But I do have an issue with him saying it's disrespectful for anyone to say Inoue. I don't find it disrespectful for someone to say Inoue because I think he has a legit claim to being called pound for pound the number one fighter. But Tarver's reason for saying it is that Inoue hasn't beaten any fighter on a pound for pound list, and he hasn't beaten any notable names, anyone of note, anyone we know, right? And anytime someone says that, I always have an issue with that because, just because a fighter is not popular doesn't mean that he's not a hell of a fighter, right? We've seen this over and over with fighters that'll come up through the ranks who are not notable and end up knocking off a notable name, right? So we can't just automatically just say he's fighting nobody just because, we may not know him, right? I mean, he has beaten 13 current and former world champions. In 26 fights, he's knocked out 23 fighters. He's become undisputed in 2 weight classes. He's only 30 years old. So, I mean, that is a big body of work in a short period of time. That's incredible. So, yes, he has a stake in that. Also, Terrence Crawford has only beaten Errol Spence, who's the only fighter he's beaten on the pound for pound list, right? So he's only beaten one. Inoue has become world champion in now 4 weight classes. Crawford has done it in 3, right? So we can give Inoue some credit on that one. They both have become undisputed in 2 weight classes. So, yes, does he have a claim to being number one? Absolutely. You can make a great argument for him being number one. So I completely disagree with his reason behind it. But I do agree that Terrence Crawford is pound for pound the number one fighter.